for us, it's an opportunity to really reflect and enjoy a celebration of what God has done through Christ. So I just want to just share live now just a few thoughts from John chapter 1, and then we're going to, I think, sing a carol on the back of that. One of my favourite carols, Hark the Herald. Some of these carols are so full of truth, aren't they? And so we're going to sing that together. But what I thought would be helpful is just to, the week or so before the actual celebration, think a little bit about the significance of what God has done. And often, this time of year, Christmas it can be a challenge, can't it? To really keep that front and center. There's so much of a pull and a current around us in the culture to turn Christmas into something other than what it truly represents. In many ways, our culture has replaced the story of Christ's coming with the story of Santa's arrival on his sleigh. It's turned, happy Christmas into, a happy holiday. Angels have become elves. There's all sorts of ways in which our culture is attempting to rewrite the story of Christmas. And so it's a challenge for us to keep it front and center. And I want to hopefully just bring some stuff from John 1 that helps us do that. I think this year particularly, that is even more of a challenge. There's so much this year, isn't there, to occupy our minds and potentially distract us from what is at the heart of our celebration at Christmas time. We've got the daily updates, we've got the challenges of navigating guidelines, we've got the whole idea of a Christmas bubble. I don't know if any of you have managed to work out exactly what that consists of, or can consist of, or cannot consist of, but it can be quite a challenge, and it can all distract us from what's at the very heart of it. Christmas can be stressful at the best of times. And so if we're not careful, we can, get to January 2021 and realize actually Christ hasn't really featured as front and center in our time and in our celebration. And so in the light of those challenges, it's really important, I think, even more so this year, that we do intentionally anchor ourselves into what the Christmas events represent and give our worship and make Christmas a devotional celebration, a devotional time of year. And there's no better passage really to do that, I don't think, than John chapter 1. So I'm going to read the first 14 verses of John chapter 1. Hopefully these are familiar verses to you, and then just make a few comments here. This is what John says. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to bear witness about the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness about the light. The true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. This is how John begins his gospel, and it's quite different, of course, from the other three Gospels, which include quite a lot of the detail that Neil was referring to about the human, the historic events around the birth of Christ. Accounts of angels and donkeys and an angry king and the Magi.